Wheatstone bridge is used as a signal conditioning circuit for strain gauge, and then finally we were able to establish the relation between the final output, final response, that was the unbalanced voltage appearing across the potential difference appearing across the detector arm, and the strain. So, as I told you yesterday, that this expression is a privileged expression. We always want that our final expression should have, with the stimulus, uh, should have the linear relation like this. So this is, that's why I was saying that yesterday, that this bridge is this signal conditioning circuit is, although doing the same thing whatever a voltage divider circuit does, but it is better in this sense. And another sense is that when your strain is zero, so output will also be zero. That was not present in case of voltage divider circuit. So that's why this is considered as better or the best circuit for signal conditioning, or for conversion of resistance to voltage. This is considered as a better and best circuit. Um, and um, Then I told you that it offers other advantages um, in case of strain gauge. So as you can see that one of the pertinent issue in case of strain gauge is temperature variation, and your response will vary as the temperature, with the resistance change in because of the temperature, or resistance change because of the strain varies. So we want we this is always desirable in case of sensors, that the sensor response sensor should respond only to the variable which we want to measure, and it should not respond to the any other parameter because of which your means it should not respond. So in this specific case, we want that our system, instrumentation system, it should respond, it should vary, means this is the final response. We should get the change in final response when there is a change in resistance because of the strain gauge, change in resistance of the strain gauge because of the strain only. And if this resistance is changing because of any other reason, then it should not respond. But this circuit won't will not be able to do this. Now another circuit, this is temperature compensation. In this case it is called the dummy gauge method. So in this case you see, instead of one strain gauge, we are having two strain gauges. One strain gauge is active strain gauge, like earlier one. Another strain gauge is dummy strain gauge. It is the identical strain gauge in all sense, but it is not. It is kept somewhere near this strain gauge, but it is not basically bonded to the structure whose strain we want to measure. Like if we want to measure the strain of a beam or a cantilever, so we are required to bond it through the certain adhesive into the structure. But this one is not bonded, it is kept nearby in the same environment, but it is not bonded to the structure. So when there is there is uh, strain, change in strain, or there is a strain, then this strain gauge resistance will change, but this strain gauge resistance will not change, it will remain same. But if there is a change in temperature, then this the resistance of this strain gauge as well as this strain gauge, both of them change equally because they are subjected to the same change in temperature. So it is claimed that this circuit, in this circuit, if there is a change in resistance in only one of the strain gauges, then we will get the response. There will be change in the voltage across the potential difference across the detector arm. And if there is a similar same amount of change because of any other reason, any reason, because of any reason, if there is a change in resistance in both the strain gauges by same amount, then this output won't change. I'm repeating, please listen carefully. If you are having any doubt, you can ask. So in this case, the situation is like this. If the response, that is the voltage across the detector arm, will change only when there is a change in resistance in any of these two strain gauges because of any reason. And if there is a equal amount of change in both the strain gauges, I'm talking about the resistance change, because of any reason, then this output will not change. Now, in case of, obviously, in case of strain, only this resistance of this strain gauge will change. Then accordingly, we'll get the change in response. But in case of temperature, the both resistances of the both the strain gauges will change in by equal amount, because they are identical strain gauges and they are subjected to same temperature change. So equal amount of temperature, equal amount of resistance will change in case of change in temperature, and in the, to that this output will not change. So this is what is called temperature compensation, and Wheatstone bridge, you can see that it is a capable of doing this if we are using it in a particular way. So if anybody is having any question regarding the temperature compensation dummy gauge method, the method I had explained here right now, if anybody is having any question, you can ask, please. जी. हाँ भाई, आप लोगों को समझ में आया कि टेम्परेचर कंपनसेशन की नहीं समझ में आया? जी. एनीबॉडी?
समझ में आ गया सर.
आ गया?
यस.
Very few of you joined today. Where are the other people? Now, this is the claim, and what is the condition? We'll try to find out the condition. As you know, suppose Rg1 and Rg2 are the resistance of strain. This is resistance of a strain gauge. Rg2 is resistance of unstressed strain gauge, means dummy strain gauge. So this is the resistance of this is Rg2 and this is Rg1. So when the bridge is balanced, so R1 by R3 should be equal to Rg2 by Rg1. This is the bridge balance equation. Now we'll try to find out what is the condition, that whatever situation, whatever compensation we are willing to have, for that what is the circuit condition. Now in this case, suppose change in temperature occurs and resistance of Rg1 and Rg2 changes by delta R1 by delta R2 respectively, the bridge will remain balanced if. So in this case, if there is a change initially, your bridge for all these values of resistances, your bridge is balanced. Now if there is a change in temperature, so obviously change in temperature will change the resistance of this strain gauge as well as resistance of this strain gauge. This is pretty obvious. You see, if only resistance change take place in this strain gauge because of the strain, then your bridge will become unbalanced. There is no dispute upon that, and we want that our bridge should become unbalanced whenever there is any stress or any strain. But we want that when there is a temperature change, then our bridge, if it is initially balanced, then it will remain balanced, and if it is unbalanced by certain amount, then a certain degree, then it should remain unbalanced to that value only. so it should not respond to the temperature change. So now we are starting with a balance bridge. So when there is a change in temperature, obviously these two resistances will change. Resistances of these two strain gauges will change. Suppose these resistance changes delta R1 and delta R2, and that I had shown here. I added into this Rg2 is plus delta R2, Rg1 plus delta R1. Now we'll simplify, and then we'll reach here. R1, R3 into Rg1, this. Now from equation 1, you can see here R1 by into R3 divided by R3 into Rg1 is equal to Rg2. So, sorry. So this thing is equal to Rg2. So this 2 will get cancelled. So now we are getting only R1 by R3 into Rg1 is equal to Rg2. This is equal, so we cancel this from equation 1. This is equal, so we cancel this, so we end up with this part R1 by R3 into delta R1 is equal to delta R. Now generally we take equal arm bridge, so R1 is equal to R3, so delta R1 is equal to delta R3. So this means, what is the meaning of this? So your bridge will remain balanced if same change is will occur in both the strain gauges. Both the strain gauge should be identical. So if this is the condition that we whatever we desire, that that our bridge, this circuit should behave. So in this case, you see, if there is a change in resistance because of any reason, whether it is a temperature or any other reason, if there is a change in resistance in both the strain gauges, then your bridge will remain balanced. Or your bridge, if it is bridge is unbalanced, then it will remain unbalanced to that value only, means your output voltage will remain same. This will occur only when the change that will take place in both the strain gauges resistance, it should be same. It should be same. If this is, that's what you can see that. So both the bridges will, in both the condition, your bridge will remain balanced. Here in this case, here we started with the balanced bridge. Your initially bridge is balanced, and then there is a change in resistance in both the strain gauges. If these two resistances change in resistances is same, then your bridge will remain unbalanced. Is it fine to all of you? So this means if there is any change in resistance of strain gauges because of the change in temperature, then your response, your bridge will want this system will want is respond to that. And obviously, if there is a change in resistance of this active strain gauge because of the strain, then you will get the output. So this is fine to all of you. Amai.
Yes, sir.
So you can see that your Wheatstone bridge is a very good circuit for strain gauge. Here it is converting the change in resistance into change in voltage, that too in linear fashion, and there is no initial offset. These are the attributes of the Wheatstone bridge as a signal conditioning circuit for strain gauge. Now here with this scheme, you can see that it it can it can compensate the temperature for it provides the temperature compensation also. Now what could be the obvious extension of this scheme? ये इस स्कीम की obvious extension क्या हो सकता है? आपके दिमाग में कोई चीज ऐसी आई हो? जी बताइए. जी बताइए. इसका कोई एक्सटेंशन हो सकता है? Any extension of it? Hmm? This is obvious that if we make both of them, means we should have a curiosity that if we make both of these two active, then what will happen? Means these two strain gauges active, this one as well as this one, means both of them are stressed, then what will happen? In any case, if these two are identical and they will subjected to same change in resistance, then your bridge will not respond to that. But if any of these two will have change in resistance, then obviously your bridge will respond. So this particular feature of this circuit we use for temperature compensation. Now we feel we can have a curiosity that if both of them are made um, uh, means they are made active, means they are put they are bonded to the structure. So obviously, if there is a similar change, same change, identical change in this that we are aware of in both the strain gauges, then your bridge won't respond. Then somehow we try to have a different changes when there is a strain, different changes when there is a strain, and when there is a temperature, then same change will occur. So that's what is the inception of basically. Oh, sorry. Yeah, that that is the inception of this is what basically we have done till now. If there is a same change in resistance of both the strain gauges, active and dummy, because of any reason, the unbalanced voltage across the detector arm will unchanged and will be given by. So this is the unbalanced voltage that will appear across the voltage, and and if there is any change, I mean because of the temperature, so that will not affect your output. Your output remain same because this is independent of temperature. Now suppose in this case you see in a strain gauge. Now what I'm doing, this is your structure whose strain we are interested in finding out. So if we are putting one strain gauge upside and one strain gauge downside, so you can see that they are kept in the same environment, and they are subjected to same strain only, but the nature of strain is different. Here at the upper side, it is basically stretching the strain gauge, and at the lower side, it is compressing it. But in it means that the type of change is different, the orientation is different, but the amount of strain will remain same. So here in this case, as far as the upper strain gauge is concerned, its resistance will increase. As far as lower strain gauge is concerned, its resistance will decrease because it is getting compressed. So here, if we are connecting this strain gauge here, and sorry, this is strain gauge here, and this strain gauge here, then what will happen? Then what will happen? Now in this case you see situation is like this. Please listen carefully. I don't know how many of you are listening carefully. So here in this case, when there is a strain, both of these strain gauges resistance will change by equal amount because they are identical strain gauges and they are subjected to same strain. So both resistance will change in both the strain gauges, but in opposite direction. In one strain gauge, the resistance will increase. In another strain gauge, the resistance will decrease by same amount. So this, when this will happen, then your output voltage will be this much. Output expression. You have to do it on your own, because we have done all these things earlier. You check with that. So now if you compare the output when we are using quarter bridge, when only one strain gauge is active, then this is the output, and this is the output. I'm writing that output for quarter bridge and for quarter bridge of a dummy gauge method. The output is equal to V by 4 GF gauge factor into strain. So this is the difference. Now, is there any advantage? I am asking to all of you, is there any advantage to go for this configuration? Or if you compare this circuit, both of them are having dummy gauge method with the half bridge method. Both of them are having temperature compensation. So is there any advantage we are getting out here? जी बताइए भाई. सोचिए और बताइए. By the time I'll take your attendance. Rule number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Present, sir.
Present, sir.
5 is present. सभी. What this scheme, whatever that I had shown here, that is called half bridge, because both the strain gauges used here are active strain gauges. This is called quarter bridge or dummy gauge method. Here one of the only one strain gauge is active, like this. These two are same. Only difference is that here in this case there is a compensation for temperature. Here there is no compensation for temperature. But as far as the output is concerned, it will remain same. Here in this case we are getting temperature compensation also, and output is different from whatever we are getting from the quarter bridge method. कोई एडवांटेज है इसमें? If you compare this with this expression, can you see any advantage or anything? Any comment you can make, whatever is your observation. भाई दोनों डिफरेंट हैं क्या? कैसे डिफरेंट है ये तो बता ही सकते हैं आप लोग तो कुछ बोलते ही नहीं. For same strain, this circuit is giving more response. This circuit is giving more response than this circuit. Are you okay with it? भाई हाँ नहीं तो बोलो.
Yes.
आपको यस और नो बोलने में इतनी देर लग रही है आप लोगों को। मैं ये कह रहा हूं कि for same strain this circuit is giving more output than this circuit. So will this thing offers any advantage? इसका मतलब ये हुआ कि you people are not, means I'm speaking about many things since long and you are not noticing it. Which out of these two instrumentation system, means this one or is more sensitive? ये ज्यादा sensitive है या वो वाला ज्यादा sensitive है? हाफ ब्रिज ज्यादा सेंसिटिव है या क्वार्टर ब्रिज ज्यादा सेंसिटिव?
Full, full bridge.
ज्यादा सेंसिटिव है। सेंसिटिविटी क्या होती है?
सर पर्टिकुलर अमाउंट ऑफ फ्लक्चुएशन के लिए कितना रीडिंग शो कर रहा है सर वो, और ज़्यादा रीडिंग शो करेगा स्मॉल अमाउंट के लिए सर ज़्यादा सेंसिटिव माना जाएगा एंड अदरवाइज कम।
सो आउट ऑफ, देखिए आपका जो आउटपुट है, सेंसिटिविटी इज बेसिकली द रेशियो स्टिमुलस। सो इसमें जो स्टिमुलस है वो आपका स्ट्रेन है और रेस्पॉन्स, फाइनल रेस्पॉन्स वी नॉट है। तो वी नॉट अपॉन strain, v naught upon strain. So in this case this is more obviously, है ना, ये ज्यादा है क्योंकि यहाँ v/4 है, ये v/2 है for same excitation. So this means this bridge is more sensitive, this particular scheme is more. So here situation is like that, we are having, if we are having quarter bridge, so this quarter bridge is not having any temperature compensation, then we move to the dummy gauge, then it is having same output but the temperature compensation is there. Now we move to the half bridge circuit. In this case we are getting more response, more output for same strain, and there is a temperature compensation also. So obviously this one is this circuit and system is more sensitive than this one, so we'll prefer this one. Is it fine to all of you?
यस सर।
Yes, sir.
Now what could be the this is just for the sake of completion. If you means although it is not offering, means it is not a temperature compensation here in this case, if we are having strain gauges in diagonally opposite arms and their change is same, like we are putting one more strain gauge here, so we'll and we can connecting it like this, then again we'll get same output. But it is here, it is not offering any temperature compensation, but here it is offering temperature compensation. Now what could be the extension of it? इसका एक्सटेंशन क्या हो सकता है, हाफ ब्रिज का एक्सटेंशन? कोई चीज दिमाग में आपके आ रही है कि क्या इसके, जस्ट फॉर द सेक ऑफ इन्वेस्टिगेशन?
फुल ब्रिज।
है, अगर हम फुल ब्रिज ले लें तो क्या होगा? ये तो आना चाहिए दिमाग में, आप लोग के दिमाग में कुछ आता ही नहीं. So if we are having a strain gauges in all the arms, then what will happen? So if we are having the strain gauges in all the arms in a particular way, here also it's not like any in a particular configuration, in a particular way, if we are, and this is possible only in strain gauge. If you are having any other temperature, any other resistive sensor, then this scheme you cannot implement. Like if we are having RTD, so it is not possible to have a two RTD subjected to same temperature change, but the opposite change in resistance, that is not possible there. Here it is possible in a strain gauge. So now if we are having a strain gauges, like in this case, situation is like this. If this is your cantilever, so we are putting two strain gauges upside, one strain gauge, another strain gauge, third strain gauge, and all of them are identical strain gauges, means in all sense. Sorry. So suppose this is your your this you are connecting here, here, this you are connecting here, because they are, sorry, these two, if this is the direction of stress, then these two are this one and this one, and these two, the lower one, they are this one and this one. When you will derive the expression, then output, you can see that. And again I am telling you that if there is any change in temperature because of there is any change in resistance because of the temperature, then this will this won't respond. Whatever is output will remain same. It won't change. But if there is a change, the way certain strain gauges is having positive change and certain strain gauges negative change, and they are equal, then output will be this. So if you will compare with the quarter bridge, so you see here for same strain, here for same strain, in half bridge we are getting out response twice of whatever we are getting in the quarter bridge, and here we are getting response four times whatever we are getting. So sensitivity has enhanced along with the temperature compensation four times. So this is how bridge circuit offers many advantages when we are working with the as a single condition circuit, obviously when we are working with the strain gauge. So if you are having any query regarding all these things, you can ask please. Now I want that you people should submit a quiz. You derive this expression for this bridge. I'm putting it on the classroom, and for full bridge I want to you to derive the expression. Okay, and your time starts now, and you submit. So you can take a paper and you can start, and then you upload here, all of you. It is very simple. Okay. So it is assigned to all of you. You check, please, and you submit accordingly. It is assigned to all the students. You can see on my screen. You submit here. Okay, it is working. Okay. So you're still having around 13 minutes. So by that time, I want that you finish it and you upload it. Now, remaining students should respond at your roll call.